What the fuck was that?
Why you so upset, man?
I just witnessed one of the dumbest superhero deaths in fucking TV history, bro. Come on!
I need to hear your reaction.
All right, listen.
You're getting a bit off topic here, sir. All right.
Because that's the rule number one.
Yeah.
So you just interrupted me rewatching one of the best things in all of TV. Okay.
Interrupted you.
Yeah, you did. All right. Listen.
You reached out to me with a gift I didn't understand, so I just took it as a yes.
All right. Well, the yes. You didn't see him shake his head. Yes.
Well, he shakes it, kind of, but he's got a frown on his face, and then he shakes left to right. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So what's good?
Yeah, well, I just I caught up on Hot D. All right, yesterday.
Right.
I caught up episodes 8 and episode 9, and this shit's coming to a close, and I'm fucking sad, man. This has been a really, really fun ride. It's been a fun ride. So now I gotta wait, I don't know, 6 years for season 2, I guess,
Ah, man, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, you don't. All right.
What do you mean? It's something you enjoy. Hey, I can strongly pretend to care. I can pull that off.
But it just kind of sucks. It's like, oh man, it's been really fun. It's been a fun ride. Now, season two, it jumps. We jump into the dance of the dragons. So, yeah. Season 1 so far, I've thoroughly enjoyed.
So what's happened? What happened in season 8, 9? What has happened? Because I haven't watched since I think episode 4.
I think you stopped like 5, but yeah.
5.
Okay, well, episode 8 starts, and they immediately make it clear that it's a 6-year time jump in this particular episode. So this is 6 years after Lyanna's funeral.
Who's Lyanna?
Daemon. She was Daemon's Lyanna Velaryon, the young girl. She was 12 years old last time you saw her. Little black girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
she died.
She died in the last episode, so it's a 6-year jump past that point.
How'd she die? Through nefarious acts?
No. She had her dragon set her on fire. She was gonna die in childbirth. Oh. And she was like, "Fuck that! I ain't gonna die in no childbirth. I'm gonna die like a G." So she had her dragon Vhagar set her on fire.
She was 12?
No, she wasn't 12 by then. At that time, she was a grown woman. She was like 21, 22 years old.
Oh, okay.
When that happens, we've had a couple time skips since then.
So she killed her and the child?
Yeah. Well, her child was already dead. So her child was stillborn.
Oh, okay.
And it was going to kill her too. So rather than just down the table or let the maesters, do what they did to Aemma in episode 1, she's like, fuck that. So she kind of did like this long, painful walk out to Vhagar, the biggest, oldest dragon in the family, and she kind of gives a Jakara's command. Vhagar does not want to do it, which is kind of weird, but not weird. That's his dragon rider. But finally, Vhagar listens, and she sets him on fire. So anyway.
Oh, so dragons finally popped up.
What's that?
So dragons finally popped up in the show?
Oh yeah. Dragons galore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you had the funeral in episode 7. And during that time, they fake kill Leonor. And
all right,
Daemon and Rhaenyra get married.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, Daemon and Rhaenyra get married. So 6 years after that is what we pick up on episode 8. Viserys' condition is in its terminal stages. He's a mummy. That person looks like he smells awful. I mean, literally, he's rotting away. He has to wear like a half face mask to kind of hide the holes in his face on his right side.
I'm surprised he's still kicking.
What's that?
I'm surprised he's still kicking. They made it seem like he's gonna die soon.
Yeah, bro. Nah, he makes it another 6 years. All right, he makes it another 6 years. But the key turning point here is Corlys Velaryon, the House of Head Velaryon, he's been out at war out those damn pesky stepstones again for like 6 years, and he is gravely wounded, and he probably won't survive. So now Vaemond, his brother, is mounting a claim to Driftwood because that well, you may not know, but Driftwood was to go to Jace uh, Targaryen, aka one of those strong bastards. So that's why Vaemond is mounting a claim saying, hey, that guy ain't a fucking Velaryon. He's a strong, he doesn't have any real claim to the throne of Driftwood, which is the house, the seat of the Velaryon house. So obviously, by challenging this claim, you're also challenging the claim of the throne in general, because Jacaerys Targaryen, which is also a bastard from House Strong, is set to be the king after Rhaenyra. So obviously, Rhaenyra and Daemon, they have to go to King's Landing, somewhere they have not been in 6 years, to kind of challenge the challenge, so to speak.
Right.
But it just sets off. This. You get to the Red Keep. You get to King's Landing, and the Viserys in such poor condition now he's no longer even sitting the throne. He's not doing the daily deeds of king, so he left that to the hand, Otto, and his wife, obviously. So essentially, House Hightower is running the realm for like the last couple of years because the king just can't do it. He's in too poorly health. So of course, with that being said, they've sort of taken down all the Targaryen regalia. So everything now is all the decorations are that of the faith, because Alicent, she's kind of religious. So they put a lot of religious sorts of paintings and symbols all around. No real signs of House Targaryen being there.
So the king has to what, die and before the next person can take over?
Yeah, King's gotta be dead. Oh. Yeah, he's gotta be like dead. So until then, the king's hand, he sort of sits the throne and sort of tends to the daily business. And since that's Otto Hightower, of course, they are already positioning themselves.
Otto, what happened to
Oh, they died, bro. He got set on fire. You hadn't watched in a long time, huh?
Oh man,
yeah, they're dead.
First chair died.
That one guy that you like, Pudgy chair number one, he's gone. He's dead.
Oh man,
that guy got him and his son got set on fire inside their fucking castle, Harrenhal.
The Crypt Walk son.
Yeah. His Clubfoot set them both up to die.
Oh yeah. Man, that sucks.
He's gone. Yeah, Otto's back as the king of the hand. I mean, the hand of the king, and
hold on, he gotta be old.
Who, Otto?
Yeah.
That's the funny part. No, Otto doesn't age. It looks like Otto looks about the same. That's funny because it's been a long time. These time shifts, Otto should be a reasonably old person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be at least like 60. Doesn't look it. Looks to be still about 45, 50 years old. Looks like about what you saw when you saw him in episode 1. Maybe a little bit more gray in the beard, but nothing tremendous.
Right. Okay. So the queen and her father is taking
they're
over,
running.
basically.
Yeah, they're essentially running the realm now. And obviously, Otto Hightower being Otto Hightower, he's already been conspiring with the small council to rush Aegon into the, usurp the throne. Obviously, we're gonna sit Aegon and we're gonna kill Rhaenyra and Daemon. Now, Alicent doesn't know this. So when the king finally dies, it's a surprise that they've already had this plan in action, because she's like, wait a minute, we're not gonna kill her. She's not really down with killing Rhaenyra or Daemon. She's not.
And Alicent is the queen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I kind of skipped ahead there a little bit. So essentially what happens is Vaemond gets to give his rebuttal, like, hey, these folks are bastards. These are not Velaryons. This is a Velaryon seat. By the way, he's not wrong. But anyway, in the midst of all this, he calls the children bastards. He calls Rhaenyra a whore, in a moment in which he kind of made this decision that, okay, I'm going to die here because I'm going to say this thing I shouldn't say. And so Daemon like cuts his head off with a blade very swiftly.
Daemon killed who?
Daemon killed Vaemond. Vaemond is the black brother of Corlys Velaryon. Yeah, so you didn't watch long enough to meet Vaemond, but Vaemond is also a member of
Vaemond and Daemon.
You got Vaemond and Daemon. I'm having to really pronounce my words here. The Southerner in me is really struggling. All right, I'm having to really pronounce my syllables.
Okay, so Vaemond was saying this.
Yeah, Vaemond Velaryon. Yeah,
Vaemond was saying, "Hey, Rhaenyra, everyone knows those kids ain't."
Who the Driftwood throne is rightfully mine because they're bastards.
Right.
Yeah. So
and then Daemon kills him.
Yeah, Daemon lops his head off, like clean off, fucking very swiftly, very quickly.
Okay.
But before any of that, this was supposed to be a bit of a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
But the king ends up attending the challenge, and he's confused. He's like, "What the fuck are we doing here? This has already been settled." Corlys said he wanted Lucerys Targaryen or Velaryon to have the seat of Driftwood. Why are we here? Otto and Alicent, they were sort of trying to slide this in without the king kind of noticing. But once Rhaenyra and Daemon show up, they kind of alert, the king to what's about to happen. So he makes this very, very dramatic entrance into the proceedings. He can barely make it. He's breathing really hard. He has a cane. He has a half mask. It's a tough scene, but it's also like a very emotionally effective scene. The score is really great and sort of what's the word I'm looking for? The score is sort of a thunderous, reverential score while the old, king kind of walks his way up to the throne. He looks at Otto and tells Otto, "Hey, I'll sit the throne today." He's having a very hard time getting to the throne. And that's when his brother Daemon kind of helps him up those last two steps. It's super emotionally effective. It's super cool. The guys, he's in such bad shape. His crown falls off. Daemon kneels down, picks it up, puts it on his head. It's real triumphant. Between the score and just how effective that the actor Paddy Considine is at like kind of portraying this old dying person.
Yeah,
it was really cool scene, man. It was sort of a triumphant, like last sort of a stand from a guy who knows he's about to die. And essentially he's like, "Hey, man, no more of this shit. Lucerys is the fucking heir to Driftwood." Obviously, Vaemond gets his head lopped off, so it's like, well, that's enough of that. And then after that, they all go eat dinner. Like Vaemond then just get his head lopped off, and
right.
That's when once again, because the old man Viserys just wants his family together, which that.
Yeah.
So he just wants to have a dinner, like a last supper, so to speak, with the family all there. The Towers, Rhaenyra, Daemon, and he just kind of wants everybody to be chill. He makes one last appeal, like, "Guys, you guys got to end all this fighting. This has to stop. Listen, my wishes, please obey them. And let's just have a good time. Let's eat dinner. Let's have fun." And he makes it about halfway through the dinner before it gets too painful for him. And they come and at this point he can't walk anymore, so they're kind of literally carrying his chair around. He has like 4 Kingsguard, like actually picking up his chair.
Right.
He goes away. The dinner continues. Everybody's kind of having a good time. Rhaenyra sort of apologizes to Alicent, and she kind of acknowledges that, "Hey, you've been here for my father. I really appreciate you." And that's making Otto fucking sick. Fucking Otto's like, "Hey, man, come on now. No. We've got a plan."
Otto.
Yeah, Otto's like, "Come on, man. We got a plan here." And then, of course, people start toasting, making toast. And at first, everything's cool. But then Aemon One Eye, which you don't know who that is at this point, but Aemon, the second oldest child of the second son of Viserys and Alicent. He's grown up now. He looks like a Bond villain with an eye patch.
Aemon? So there's 2 Aemons?
No, there's only one Aemon.
You said Daemon and Aemon, right?
Daemon. No, I said Vaemond with a V.
Yes. So it's Damon, Vaemond, and Aemon.
So all these names sound similar because they're from Old Valyria, and all those houses just have very, very similar names.
Man, RR got lazy, man. Don't give me that.
Aemon, Vaemond, and Daemon.
Okay. Yeah. DVA, gotcha. Good
so
Lord.
Aemon is Aemond. That's Aemon. That's the second. That's Aegon's brother, King Aegon. That's Viserys' older son, who's gonna be. That's the guy that they're trying to slip into the throne. That's the guy they're trying to make the king. So his younger brother is Aemond, and like I say, Aemon's really grown up. He's real tall. He has an eye patch, and he looks like a Bond villain now. But anyway, he's like a super badass too. Like, he can fight. Like, he's a fucking bad dude. Like, don't fuck with Aemon now. All right.
And they're all Rhaenyra's younger siblings, right?
They're her younger half brothers. Yes.
Right.
And Aemon, so Aemon, the reason he lost his eye, because I forgot you hadn't watched the last episode, Aemon got his eye sliced by Lucerys Velaryon, which is Rhaenyra's one of Rhaenyra's bastard sons.
So what happened to the big fight? What happened to their dad? What happened to the baby daddy? I'm sure he's dead.
That's Harwin. He's died. He died with his father. Yeah. Harwin's dead. Harwin died with fucking.
Okay, so wait. Rhaenyra's baby daddy was
Harwin Strong,
Tubby First Seat's son.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are strong. Alike. So Harwin Strong, Lowry Strong, the Clubfoot, and you keep making me forget this guy's name. You call him Chubby C1, whatever. Yeah, they're
Lionel.
Yeah, Lionel Strong. Lionel is the father to Larys and Harwin. So yeah, Larys kills Harwin and Lionel because he's a fucking fuck.
Good Lord, Clubfoot.
Yeah, Clubfoot. Yeah.
God damn.
So, Aemon gives his toast at the end of the episode, and of course he starts to allude to, "Hey, look at my strong and beautiful cousins," and it's like, "All right, man, knock it off. Stop being a dick." Even Alicent sort of offended, like, "Hey, why would you say that? Come on, knock it off. Not right now." And that's when Aemon's like, "Well, listen, I just said they're strong. What are they so ashamed of? I mean, what? What's the problem here?" And that's when Daemon kind of gets up, breaks it all up, and then you get the inevitable Aemon versus Daemon sort of a stare down, and those two just kind of know they're gonna have to say about each other. Like, Daemon kind of respects Aemon because he's like, this dude's a bit of a badass. I'll give it to him. But I'm gonna have to fucking shit up one of these days.
What makes him a badass? Is his eye patch?
Yeah, eye patch. Yeah, Aemon. Aemon's a bad dude. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Aemon grew the fuck up. So in the episode prior, so I told you that Lyanna's dragon, Vhagar, that's the biggest, oldest dragon.
Right.
So Aemon did not have a dragon at one point. They used to tease Aemon as a child. They used to give him they teased him with like a pig with wings.
Oh, and stuff like him. That. Wait, he grew up into eye patch?
Yeah, he grew up in the eye patch. Yeah.
The one they gave a pig to. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so that kid, he claimed Vhagar. But the only way to claim a dragon, the dragon has to accept you. So you have to ride that dragon and not die, essentially. And young Aemon, 12-year-old Aemon, well, he did that. So Aemon conquering Vhagar, or not conquering, but Aemon being Vhagar's dragon rider sort of gives him this newfound confidence, and he grew up to be a bad dude. I'm not gonna lie, like, he's a fucking. they show him and Sir Criston in the fucking in the outside in the fighting pits or whatever, getting it on and fucking training together. And Aemon best Christian, like, sincerely, like, he fucking wins that joust. Like, it's a nice thing, man. That dude. Okay, kid's a bad dude now. So
shouldn't Criston be in like his 40s now? Like,
yeah. Sir Criston is a bit older, but he's still 40s. That's not right. He's still a bad dude, and Aemon's only like 19 years old.
Is he still pouting that he couldn't get Rhaenyra?
Well, he hasn't had much screen time lately, but I mean, probably,
Man, dude, let it go.
Let it go. Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
that was episode 8. I mean,
Well,
it ended on a sour note.
Right.
But
It ended on what, the king being
yeah,
dragged
it
off?
ended on the king in the room. So the king is in the room with Alicent, and it's obvious he's about to die.
Right.
But he kind of reminds Alicent of the dream he had, and that dream was about Aegon being the king, not Rhaenyra, but it's the wrong Aegon because, oh, by the way, Rhaenyra also has an Aegon. Rhaenyra had a baby with Daemon, named him Aegon just to piss off Alicent. Yeah,
man.
They have 3 kids together. They have 3 kids together.
So what happened to the gay dude?
They faked his death. He's off in Pentos, living his best life.
So he had a happy ending. That's good.
Yeah. He's not dead. He's not dead. But So yeah. That was episode 8. A really good episode. Really.
So she's
really
popped out 6 kids.
Yeah, Rhaenyra had 6 children. Yeah, when it's all said and done. Yeah, 3 by Harwin Strong, 3 by Daemon.
Yeah, I didn't need to. I knew who it was. You don't have to keep reminding me.
yeah. I remind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 8. That moment with Viserys, like that last gasp, like of his best efforts to like do his job. It was just a really triumphant moment because it's obvious this dude's done, man. This dude's like he's a skeleton. He's in really bad shape.
Right.
So I say, oh man, look, like I said, I love the show. I really enjoy it. It's been thoroughly enjoyable. And now from here on out, well, after episode 9, from here on out, it's all tragedy, just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And this is when the story gets terrible.
So he's not dead yet?
Oh yeah, he died. He died in episode 8. He dies.
Oh, okay.
Which brings us to episode 9, where they
start to act out their plan.
The plan goes into action, and Aegon formally gets crowned, but Aegon doesn't want it. Aegon does not want to be the king. He is not interested. And he tells his mother over and over again, I don't want to be the fucking king. Father would have told you if he wanted me to be the king. Why do you keep making me do this? So Aegon throws a wrench in their plans because he runs away. They have to have Aegon in hand in order to make this thing work because you got to have coronation. Well, right. Aegon's down in what they call Flea Bottom, which is like Whore Town, Whore Alley.
Sounds
and he's
right.
on the run. He's like, nah, I know what you guys want to do. I'm not going to play along. So
how old is he?
At this point, Aegon should be 20, 21 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be the king. I just want to fucking be a whore and drink wine and, have fun.
Right.
But of course, Otto has his plans. Alicent has her plans. So they're both actually racing to find Aegon because Alicent's racing to find Aegon because if she can get her hands on Aegon, they can still enact their plan, but she can also talk to Aegon, let him know, hey, Otto's planning on having Rhaenyra and Daemon killed. We're not gonna do that. We're actually not gonna go along with that. And of course, Otto's trying to find Aegon so he can claim him and have the coronation and then go and kill Rhaenyra and Daemon. That way they don't have a counterclaim to the throne,
So Alicent doesn't want to kill Rhaenyra and
no, she's not interested in that. Alicent's like, listen, yeah, Aegon should be the king because my husband said he should be, but I'm not into killing, I don't want to kill his daughter, because in episode 8, they had just kind of made up, like,
So I don't want to, so at any point did the king tell Rhaenyra, oh, I had this dream and it should be your brother?
No. So at that point, the kid. So Viserys is a dragon dreamer, and that means in the Targaryen family, they kind of have prophetic dreams. Helaena, his daughter, also has a similar gift. He's so old that when he says Aegon, he didn't specify which Aegon,
right?
But he's talking about Aegon the Third or Aegon the Younger, Rhaenyra's Aegon, and he will eventually take over the throne once this whole ordeal's over because all these people are gonna die.
Is that Rhaenyra's oldest?
That's Rhaenyra's youngest. when it's all said and done. Or second to youngest. Yeah.
So wait, that's Rhaenyra and Daemon's
So the strong
kid?
bastards, do you really care to know? The strong bastards die.
What?
None of these people make it through this, right? All these people fucking get fucked real bad. All right. It's really bad. So like Aegon the Elder, which is the 21-year-old Aegon right now, he gets grievously injured, and Aegon the Younger ends up getting placed on the throne, that's Rhaenyra's Aegon.
And that's what the king actually wanted, but he doesn't know that.
That's not what he wanted. That's what he dreamed.
Well, that's what I meant.
Telling Alicent, yeah, that's what he was telling Alicent. But he's so old and so feeble, he can't really, can't really fully describe what he means.
Right.
So when he says Aegon, yeah, he's not talking about our Aegon. He's talking about Rhaenyra's Aegon.
Okay, so how do we get to the point of that dream actually coming true? Because I interrupted you when you said Alicent's looking for whoever. You threw out a lot of names in the last 20 minutes.
And all these names sound the same. So you got to be a bit of a student of the stuff, man. Trust me, I get it, bro.
So he's in Flea Bottom.
So Aegon the Elder. So I'm going to refer to Rhaenyra's. I'm going to refer to Alicent's Aegon, the actual 21-year-old. I'm going to refer to him as Aegon the Elder.
Okay.
So Aegon the Elder is actually on the run. He doesn't want to be king.
Right.
He knows what they want to do. He doesn't want it. So he goes down to Flea Bottom.
I'm going to call him not Simba.
What's that?
I'm going to call him not Simba.
Yeah.
Right.
He's running away. He doesn't want it. He's actually trying to make a hasty exit out of King's Landing.
Right.
But they find him and they're like, hey, fuck, you're the king. Why are you being such a bitch about this? He's like, I don't want it. He even tells his brother, like, yo, you can have it. I don't want to do this. Come on, let me go.
Right.
Let me run away. But of course, they find him. They bring him back. They get him all cleaned up. They get him dressed up. I'm not gonna lie. They put him in his Sunday's best. That black Targaryen regalia was looking pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was a pretty dope outfit he got coronated in. But yeah, they have a coronation in King's Landing with everybody, the entire city there to see him get crowned.
Right.
And that's when all hell breaks loose, because at the same time, Rhaenys is also in town.
Who?
And Rhaenys gets to the bottom of the Red Keep, and she gets her dragon, aka Meleys, and Meleys bust out through the fucking floor during the fucking coronation. Now, here's a misstep, in my opinion, by the show. Here's a misstep.
Who's Rhaenys? Hold on. Who's Rhaenys?
Rhaenys. She's another. So, as you know, Corlys Velaryon, the black guy.
Yes.
He had a wife. Remember the Targaryen wife? The queen that never was?
Yes. Okay.
That's Rhaenys. Yes.
She's still alive?
She's still there. Yeah.
She's got to be like around. 80.
Rhaenys, she's not 80. No. These 80. People look older than what they are. She's like 60 though. Yeah, she's not young.
Man, she was 60 in episode 3.
Yeah, I know. But no, she actually isn't though. Yeah, she actually isn't though. She's like 60 now.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, she gets her dragon, Meleys the Red Queen, and she interrupts the coronation in a terrible way, killing a lot of innocent people. But she doesn't kill Aegon, Otto, Alicent, and the whole So by this point, we've gotten to the point in this faction now where you can start calling them the Greens versus the Blacks. So when we say the Greens, we're talking about the Hightower faction. And when we say the Blacks, we're talking about Rhaenyra's faction. That also probably helped make things a bit easier. Because that's also how they refer to in the books as well. The Greens versus the Blacks. Well, Rhaenys has a chance. This is a show invention. This is not happening in the books. Rhaenys has a chance to end the war before it starts because she has Meleys the Red Queen. She has the entire Green faction in her face. And the dragon roars, but she just runs away. She doesn't kill him. And in my opinion, this is the one misstep of the show because I'm like, well, why'd you do that? Like, listen, I get it. You can't burn them all alive because you got to have a show. So you shouldn't have even put that in. You shouldn't have made that a thing. It looked cool, so I get why you did it. Not gonna lie, dope ass scene, right? Because fucking Rhaenys is she's in a war armor. fucking Melee's, the Red Queens, like the third biggest dragon. So it's a fucking huge ass dragon. And don't get me wrong, Alicent for sure thought they were dead because Alicent like steps in front of Aegon. She closes her eyes. She's like, okay, we're gonna get set on fire, son. But Rhaenys doesn't do that because Rhaenys respects family, I guess. And she just flies away on Melee's so she can go and tell Rhaenyra what's happened. Because Rhaenyra and Daemon, they don't even know the king's dead. They have no idea.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're on Dragonstone. They're on an island away from King's Land. They don't know.
Being gross. Gotcha.
So that's why it all happened so fast. He said,
so
yeah.
Why she take the dragon? Is she not allowed to get her own dragon?
No, she is. So Rhaenys was there for that. I forgot why Rhaenys stayed behind, but Rhaenys was actually at the Red Keep, and I suspect Rhaenys was there to actually be able to Rhaenys was kind of there as an extension of Rhaenyra. So, like, if something happens while I'm gone, you can tell me. But once the king dies in the middle of the night, they actually lock Rhaenys up in her room. She can't get out. So she finds, like, one of the king's guards loyal to Rhaenyra finds Rhaenys and helps her escape the castle. But somehow she makes her way during the proceedings down into the dragon pit, and she takes her dragon and gets the hell out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a dope scene, but at the same time, it was a bit of a misstep because I'm like, dude, she could have ended the war right there. Why'd y'all do this? Like, it's just weird. It's like It was dope. Don't get me wrong, it was cool because Melee's is this big ass dragon, and she came up through the fucking ground, and she killed a bunch of people in the process. But she didn't kill the right ones. Like, you killed all the commoners. You got the fucking greens right there in front of you, set them on fire, but she didn't. So yeah, she flies away to go and let Daemon and Rhaenyra know what's happened.
All right.
And this starts the official, like, this is the sort of dance, right? This usurping of the throne is the thing that really starts this actual war that was now on. Aemond is going to kill Lucerys Targaryen as revenge for taking his eye way back when. It's going to be a very tragic scene because Lucerys may be only 16 years old. He's a very young guy. And Aemond and his giant dragon Vhagar, they kill Lucerys and his much smaller dragon. And that should be a pretty devastating scene because Lucerys is just a kid. But Aemond decides to take his revenge. And that's like, don't get me wrong, it's on right now. But when the first child dies at the hands of a green, like, now it's fucking on. Like, now it's like, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna kill one of your kids, and now this whole thing descends into madness.
Right.
And that's what's gonna happen. This thing's going to descend into madness, man. This thing gets ugly. By the time the Dance of the Dragons is over, it's gonna be so tragic. It's gonna leave you thinking to yourself, hey man, I think you guys could just work this whole thing out. No one really had to die. This is all bad. Because no one wins. No one wins this battle. No one wins this war. It's bad for everybody.
Right. I mean, it's war.
Yeah. But, usually in war, I mean, a lot of times anyway, you can kind of say one side definitely won. And in this case, I guess you can say Rhaenyra Targaryen won because her son ends up on the throne, but she's dead, so who cares?
Wait, Rhaenyra's dead?
Oh yeah, Rhaenyra's gonna die. Dude, they're all gonna die. I was being literal.
Oh.
Everybody's going to die. Like, this is going to be the Dance of the Dragons is absolutely like a tragic event. Like a tragic. It almost ends House Targaryen. It almost ends the era of dragons in the realm. Like, they lose most of their dragons. They lose most of their dragon riders during this time period.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, it gets fucking ugly. I mean, they don't go away. Don't trust me. Targaryens are still out here, right? They don't go away.
Oh, but yeah.
It almost ends them. It does almost end them.
Right.
Yeah. But after that, there are several other Targaryen civil wars. George R.R. Martin has this really big fascination with the Targaryens. And damn it, George, I do too now. Like, I'm just really, it's so, it's all so fucking crazy. Like, man, what? Wait, who had a child with who? What is this? Why are they fighting again? There's so many civil wars in House Targaryen. This won't be the first. This won't be the last. This wasn't the first. This won't be the last.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a really tragic time period for everybody involved. The children is who you feel bad for because they kind of got it passed down to them. You know, they don't fucking know. You know, fucking Aegon doesn't even fucking want to do this. Now, he's not a good person. He's a rapist piece of shit. But he doesn't want to be the king at all, you know.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, during this time, Aegon is having a lot of sex with a lot of sex workers in Flea Bottom. There are a lot of Targaryen bastards being fathered by Aegon the Elder. He is doing some fucking, all right?
Right.
He's doing some fucking. Those bastards will eventually get legitimized by another Targaryen king, and those legitimized bastards will start sparking what we call the Blackfire rebellions. So all those bastards that got legitimized, they will also make their attempt at usurping the throne. But that's later. That's much later. But yeah, it's a crazy tale, bro. It's a crazy tale. Hey. It's George. George created this one particular family that is just, they are fucking weird and chaotic, and at the same time, for storytelling purposes, they are also super, and it's intriguing. It's just like, hey, why is this family so fucked up? What the fuck?
They're inbred.
Yes, because they're inbred. yes. That's most definitely why.
Right.
But yeah, it makes for good storytelling. It makes for some really wild storytelling. Like, these fucking people are out of their mind.
Right. So how many episodes is left?
Just one. We're on the last episode tomorrow.
Oh.
But you still got to get into like the actual war. So there'll be at least 4 seasons, people think.
4 seasons?
Yeah, there'll be 4 seasons of this story. So think of season 1 as just a prologue. That's it. Season 1 was just a prologue to set you up for how you got here.
Right.
But the actual dance itself, the actual war, that lasts for a period. And so you get your I don't see 4 seasons. I would say 3, but some rumor has it that it's gonna be 4. I don't see 4 unless you're gonna like do like a half a season about the aftermath, which I guess you could. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, man. But all in all, man, it's a very tragic tale. Nobody fucking wins. There are no real good guys.
Hey, I don't want to keep calling him gay dude, but that guy seems like he won in the end.
What's that? Oh yeah, what? Yeah, he wins because he gets the hell out of there.
Right.
Yeah, he's off in Pentos on the other side of the world, fucking, I guess maybe conquering or fighting or I don't know, whatever he's doing. He wanted to leave so he could just go be a warrior / king of ships, I guess. He didn't want anything to do with his ancestral responsibility.
Right.
So yeah, he gets to fake his own death and get the hell out of there.
So who all knew that he faked his death?
It was just Rhaenyra and Daemon and his lover. I forgot his lover's name, but yeah, all 4 of them, they were in on it because Rhaenyra and Daemon want to get married, but you can't get married unless fucking Leonor dies.
Right.
But we don't want to kill Leonor. We're not murderers, so he is, but
Didn't Daemon have 2 wives? The legitimate one and then the whore?
Yeah, the legitimate one and then the whore, and that's why he wanted to kill the legitimate one.
This is weird, man.
Yeah. He went and killed the legitimate one to take her fucking castle because she didn't have any kids.
So did he actually ever marry the whore?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't think it is official because now she's like the mommy son of Flea Bottom now. His ex-wife, his ex-whore, she's like the mommy son of Flea Bottom. Like, she's like the boss of all the whores.
Right, because Daemon married one of them kids, right?
Yes, Damon married Lyanna. Yeah.
Right. Whatever. It's all kinds of weird.
Yeah, all these names are very familiar. So what George did was, and like I said, it's definitely a little lazy, but at the same time, smart of him to the way he grouped the names. Those names like Valerion, Targaryen, fucking Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, Aegon, names like that, those names stem from old Valyria, their old ancestral home before the Doom. Names like Strong, names like what's another Stark, some real simple folksy names like that. Those people, they are what you would call descendants of the first men. So they are not descended from Valyria. They are descended from the first men. And that is another ancient, like, sort of a faction. So that's kind of how you can kind of tell. It kind of helps you tell where the houses, like, kind of where they're like from, like what their ancestry is and who they worship. That kind of lets you know, like, by their names. Names kind of help you kind of decide, like, okay, yeah, this is a really, really old house, but this is a really, really old house, and they originate in Westeros, whereas like Targaryens and Valerians, and I think it's like one more name, like Siltigars, they like descend from Valyria. So definitely him kind of being lazy, but at the same time, listen, if you can explain to me why all these names sound the same, I'll go with it.
Right.
Every storyteller has to have their secrets. I get it.
Right.
It's like, listen, man, I'm not going to be fucking naming all these people very unique names. So we're going to have like 8 Aegons, okay? We're going to have like 8 of them. So we're going to have like 4 Viserys, all right?
Right. So do you already know what's going to happen in the last episode?
I do. I know how it ends. It's going to be tragic. Yeah.
Does Daemon die?
No, Daemon does not. Daemon will not die until towards the end of this whole thing.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's still some stuff to come. There are some wild dragons out on Dragonstone, and when I say wild dragon, I'm talking about dragons that don't have riders and have not for some time. And dragons like that.
Listen, sir. I know what wild means when you put it in front of an animal name. Come on, man.
I'm just trying to, be thorough here because it can be confusing, right?
I know what a wild horse means.
Like a wild horse, right?
On my horse. Goodness.
Well, anyway, so later on during the years, when, like I told you, because dragons die, people die, and that's the seat of power, man. The power lies in the dragons. So Daemon and Rhaenyra, they try to tame these wild dragons and also find riders for them. So you have to find like Targaryen bastards and stuff like that to come and find. So you still have all that stuff to come. But yeah, other people still got to die. It's gonna be really bad.
Sounds good to me. I'm all for it.
Oh, I know, because I know. Like, I see it as a tragedy because I'm just like, I'm looking at like a family squabble that just doesn't have to be. I'm just like, man, I don't think it has to be this way. I think if you guys,
I feel that way as well. Because mainly looking at the king and what he wants as he gets older is just a family, and he's so he just, man, look at these grandkids I got. Ain't this cool?
Yeah,
like, hold on, cool. And he. So yeah, in that way, to me, yeah, it is a tragedy, and that's honestly why I stopped watching the show. Yes, the incest stuff is gross. Extremely gross, super gross, whatever kind of adjective you want to put in front of gross, it's that kind of gross. But what turned me off from the show is when there was that big time skip, and then Rhaenyra just started doing stupid stuff.
Yeah, she just got very, very wild.
And I was like, oh man, like this is gonna.
It's just like, Rhaenyra, come on, give us one white hair kid, knock it off.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, that's all you got to do. Listen, guy. I know you think that is a nasty thing to do because you're not into women. I get it. Just do that.
But brother, you got to figure out a way to do it one time. Well, that's it. One thing we do learn is we do actually learn that apparently they did try. He just couldn't get into it. He couldn't do it. They tried. Like this guy's like, listen.
He's like, oh, this is gross. Get it out.
He tried, man. It just couldn't fucking do it.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, listen. Like I told you, look, like I say, I understand where you're coming from, and one thing I'm learning is we all have like boundaries because there are a lot of people that talk with the incest stuff that people are just like freaked out about.
Right.
And we all have like lines, and like a line for me, like as long as you don't go into like pedophilia, like in that kind of way, we're gonna be okay. You start getting into like pedophilia, then I can't watch this. I don't care what you're talking about at this point, right? That's just
excuse me. Don't worry, my king. You don't have to bed me until I'm 14. I believe that falls in that category, sir.
Yes. I listen, and here's how you get around that, because I thought about this too. If you're smart enough to put it in a period piece in which these are things that just happen, I'll let it slide. But I couldn't, like, this was like a modern day tale. I might have more problem with. But yes, that is how writers get around that sort of stuff too. Like, okay, we just gonna take it back to the 1300s. Well, listen, it happened. It's like, yeah, it happened, but you're an asshole for breaking it up.
Right. And yeah, I get it. I get that it and honestly, it still happens in certain countries. It still happens. And,
yeah.
That's on my list, but not going to get back into that.
But yeah, everybody has like lines and things of that nature, things that they just don't want to watch.
Yeah,
and I get it. A younger me probably wouldn't have gotten it. Like, but like now that I'm older and like I too have like my own like just kind of personal lines. Yeah, I get it. I've just always been the kind of person to where if you put me in a story, you give me the rules and the layout of the land, and you kind of make it clear where we're at. As long as you make it clear where we're at early on in the story, I can ride. Listen, Game of Thrones let me know real early. Hey, incest, man, this is what we do. Okay, like.
Right.
Game of Thrones, the original show, is more wild than this show.
Yeah, and I don't appreciate you lying to me about that. I really don't. I don't appreciate that at all.
They dialed it back. Well, I didn't lie at first. I just fucking forgot because it's been so long. I just kind of forgot like some of the shit. So as the show went ahead, so as Game of Thrones got further along, it really wasn't that sort of wild. Like it was sex scenes and stuff, but nothing too crazy. But I forgot that first season. Yeah, man. Yeah, I forgot. I had just forgot that some of that stuff had happened. So right. I wasn't really lying. I didn't remember. But I've been going back through the YouTube and the storyline like, oh, shit, that did happen. Oh, man, he'd have hated Game of Thrones. Fuck. I was starting to remember some scenes. I was like, oh, fuck.
Right.
That did happen.
And listen, like, so the biggest thing is it just didn't grab me and I wasn't sucked into the world. I understand the whole the time period and all that. Yeah. But since this show didn't suck me in, I'm not looking at it's the time period. I'm looking at this guy, R.R. George, made this up and he wanted to put it in the show because I just didn't get drawn into the show.
Ultimately, that's all creative choices, right?
Yeah.
Look, what we say is, hey, this is the world. But listen, sir, you built the world.
So right, exactly. and listen, if I'm really into the show, I will forget that and I can ignore it. But I I don't know. I was into the show for a while. It's just, it's hard for me to go back in.
It would have, the Game of Thrones plot line, you would have enjoyed better than this one because the storytelling, people don't get dumb all of a sudden in Game of Thrones up until like season 7, season 8. And that's when we all had a problem with it. It was like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, when did Tyrion get fucking stupid? Why you made these dumb ass decisions all of a sudden? But the original plot line, like seasons 1 to like 6 or whatever, like it's so tight and it's so smart and it's so well done. But with that being said, man, like I say, the incest stuff is there, and dude, it's way worse than fucking this shit. This is nothing, and that's probably another reason I'm not fazed by this. This is nothing, okay?
Right? I wouldn't have made it to season 6.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I went back and watched like a whole YouTube timeline review.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fuck, I forgot about this scene. Like, dude, I'm so glad I didn't watch. He hated me, man. I was like,
yeah, man, because you like, oh man, You like, oh yeah, with the Damon and Rhaenyra
I
at the
forgot,
brothel,
dude.
that's the worst it gets. I'm like, okay. Then you're like, oh no, it gets way worse than this. I'm like, come on, man. Like you
Yeah,
can't do that. I'm trusting you.
I forgot some of the shit that we saw in the first 2 seasons of Thrones, man. Like with like the incest stuff and like maybe even some rape. I fucking forgot.
Right.
Man,
Yeah.
bro, this is tough. So I am one of those people. Like gratuitous rape on scene, I don't really want to see it. I'll be honest. I don't need to see it.
Right.
And we had a rape in this story. Aegon's a rapist, but they handled it very smartly. It was off scene. They show you the consequences. They show you the young lady at post incident, and Alicent has to confront their son's done this, but they didn't show that. Now I'll say that on seriously. I don't really like showing rape on screen. That'd be a good way to get me to check out. I'm just like, okay,
right. Have you ever seen the movie The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
No.
So it is a good movie, and the only reason I can say it's a great movie. Only reason I can say it's a great movie because I saw it in theaters. If I saw it on TV or DVD or Blu-ray, I wouldn't have made it through the whole movie because there's a rape scene in it, and it is intense.
Yeah.
But the guy gets his comeuppance very soon afterwards, and I'm like, all right, it's a story element. It was hard to watch, but soon after, the guy who did it. So basically, the girl with the dragon tattoo, she's like a hacker, and she gets paid to get in people's accounts and stuff like that. And her caretaker is some older dude. He's disabled. He can barely do anything. So she has to go to not like child services, but something like that to pick up his check so that he can support her. But since he can't move or anything, he can't physically do it. She has to go do it. And her new whatever person that does that starts taking advantage of her. And then he invites her over to his house to get the next check or whatever, and he completely rapes her. All kinds of gross.
That's terrible.
And I'm like, oh, what the hell am I watching? But soon after, she comes back and she fucks this dude up and this guy up. And she's like, I knew you were going to do something, but I didn't think you're going to go that far. So she gets a tattoo gun and I forget what she writes all over his body. She writes like pig and rapist and all that. And it's like deep. It's not like a normal tattoo. It's like it's in his skin. So whenever he takes off his shirt or anything like, or if he wants to get with another lady or anything like that, it's going to show with all the stuff that she wrote. And I'm like, in that kind of setting, I was in the movie theater. I wasn't going to get up and leave. But I'm like, okay, it took me out of the movie, but then it brought me back in quick enough so I can enjoy the rest of the movie.
At least the guy gets a comeuppance. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, and I'm not saying incest is worse or not worse than rape, but it's, I don't know, just something I'm just not into, man.
Yeah, no, I get 1,000%. Yeah. And I'm that way with rape on screen. That's man, woman. Like that's why I was never in those HBO shows like Oz or whatnot. Never in any of that stuff. Like, no, I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, I don't understand. To be honest, I don't understand. Besides the whole sex sales thing, I don't understand why sex scenes are in movies or anything. To be honest, for me, I'm not. Oh man, they're gonna have a sex scene this week, or this movie has a nice sex scene. I'm here for the story and everything. Like, I that's just not something I care about in general in media that I watch, because it's like, all right, everything stops, and now I gotta watch this, and then I don't. At no point does that like help the story for me. Like I've never watched a movie or any kind of media where
it's rarely enhanced any story.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh, this director was like, oh man, watch what I can do. And it's like, oh well, like, oh, okay. Like,
so you were not a big fan of Michael Douglas's movies in the 80s. All right.
Michael Douglas? I don't know who that is.
Michael Douglas, the guy that played you ever saw Wall Street?
Possibly.
Or Fatal Attraction?
Heard of it. Is that the gray hair dude?
Yes, he has, gray hair. His father's Kirk Douglas. But anyway, He was like the king of sex scenes in the 80s, bro. Like, hey, if you watch Michael Douglas movie in the late 80s, early 90s, you were guaranteed to see Michael Douglas fuck or his fucking flat, pale ass, which I never wanted to see that. Right. Never need to see it.
Right. Yeah, I just never got it. Yeah, it just didn't.
I'll agree there. Sex scenes rarely enhance plots or stories. They're usually just there.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, it's whatever. I'm sure they know what they're doing, or they're just, gross. Nah.
Sometimes
take advantage.
Yeah, when it feels like the director is just some sort of sadomasochist, I'm like, hey man, I'm good. I don't. There was literally no point to this. Like, this is fucking awful.
Yeah.
In Thrones, it's not pointless. It's meant to show you the cruelty of like the rulers. So it's not pointless, and it wasn't. What they did wasn't grotesque. So it's like, all right, you can get past it, you can power through it. But some of the other stuff you see in like some older movies, some of that stuff is just like, come on, man, like, what are you doing? Like,
listen, Damon was introduced by banging some chick, and then like he couldn't get it up in the end. I'm like, how's that help later on? What, like,
well,
okay, is it because this isn't my niece? I'm not into this.
No, well, that's not. So here's what I'll say about that. I just did a podcast about that too. So apparently that was meant to illustrate. So Damon just wasn't real secure in himself early on. He had some internal angst. Right. Because Damon goes along and he has a couple heirs. All right, him and Lyanna, they have children.
Yeah,
he goes on and he's banging. All right, and he's having kids. So as he gets more secure with himself, his internal kind of angst kind of goes away, and in terms like his performance issues in the bed. So it was something there to it. It was something there to it. It was about him and his own internal conflict with himself. Because in the early episodes, he's always trying to prove himself. He always wanted to prove his worth to his brother and show how tough he was and show that I belong to your side. As he gets older in these seasons, and this is well illustrated, that Damon kind of goes away. Like that, the sort of clown prince Damon, he kind of goes away. He still has a penchant for violence, but he's not like an adjutant for no reason now. Like he's not doing that stuff.
When did that go away?
Probably like near episode 6, episode 7.
Oh, okay.
As they do a couple of times because he gets a little bit older. Yeah, that stuff is because I think like episode 6, episode 7, he gets an offer from some prince in Pentos to stay in Pentos, and Lyanna's like, "Hey, we got to go back home. We're Targaryens. We belong in Westeros. Near the seat of power."
I think that's like episode 5 because I saw that.
Episode 5? Yeah, okay, yeah, but it's what he's like. I'm not interested.
Oh, you know what? That might have been episode 6. That might have been an episode where I stopped watching. Yeah,
I think it was 6 because he's just not interested. He's like, I'm good. I don't need the fucking politics. I don't need any of it. So he's starting to mature around that time. So
okay.
And as you can see, they have 2 kids together.
Yeah.
So hey, whatever performance issues he was having, they're gone now.
Right. Gotcha.
So yeah, man. But but I really enjoy you letting me enjoy a thing that you didn't enjoy, man.
Yeah, man. Listen,
be a lesson to other people, man.
Yeah,
like, people enjoy
right. Yeah, man. Listen, I don't. Yeah, if you like something I don't, that's goddamn normal. Like it's weird. It is. Just like everything. That
too many times there are people who fucking make great judgments of other people because they don't share a common interest or a show, or like people really make fucking personality indictments about you if you don't like a show they like. And it's like, I'm sorry. Like I told you, look, I'm not fucking super into fucking Breaking Bad. It just wasn't.
Right.
And I watched. I just,
Well, you got to list things.
I do. I got to list.
I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I thought you were proud to be an American, but apparently you're not.
Listen, I'm a weird guy. Listen, if it was up to me, this sport would have 6 Oscars. Okay.
Who?
Bloodsport. The greatest American movie ever made.
Right. Sure.
Bloodsport.
Yeah.
I'm a different guy. Okay.
Hey, look. Nah, I mean, look, you're like, I don't like Logan. I don't like Breaking Bad. I don't like World Peace, Little Babies. Get them out my face. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? You can't.
World Peace, not super into it. A bit overrated. No.
I mean, hey, yeah. Listen, I understand people are different.
Yeah, people are different, man, and let people enjoy things, man, and just if we could all, especially the internet now, with the way internet fandom works, like. Listen, my brother-in-law liked that last Star Wars movie. I just call him weirdo and I walk away. It's fucking got strange.
Right. You know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know people that liked it, and I'm like, all right, well, I didn't, but hey, whatever.
What that does tell me is you're not that deep of a fan, because if you could live with all those contradictions we just sat through, like,
hold up, man.
Hey, if you could sit through all those contradictions, hey, man, you didn't watch it that tough, right? Which is fine too, whatever.
Oh, come on, man. You can't. Oh, man. That whole you're not a real fan. Come on, man.
I didn't say real. Listen, all I'm saying is, this is what I'll say. I'm not saying you're not a real fan. I'm just saying, hey, man, you didn't pay that much. There was too much contradictions going on for you to just be like, oh, that was this is why I say that. There are people that hate the J.J. Abrams' Star Treks, and I'm super into all of them.
Right.
You know what? I'm not that big of a fan of fucking Star Trek. Honestly, don't give a fuck.
Right.
I just thought it was a cool movie. Like I don't care. I don't know anything about the history of Star Trek. Like all those old. Like I don't know anything about any of those. So I watched that J.J. Abrams one. I was like, yo, this is dope.
Right. Well, see, like with that,
on the other side of the internet want to kill me.
See, like with that, Star Trek is a reboot, where Star Wars is just a continuation.
It's just a continuation, yes.
So it's like, look, I'm not gonna lie. The more I think about it, the people that did like it, I don't think we actually got into a conversation why they like it, or if we did, I just forgot. But I mean, if they like it, I mean, there's elements in there that, like the second time I watched it, which was years apart, I like, oh, it's not that bad. But it was also, oh, this is kind of, it's these parts are still stupid.
Stupid. But visually, I'll acknowledge that shit was visually stunning. It looked tremendous. Like that fight scene between Rey and fucking Kylo was dope. Listen, that was Dragon Ball Z. That wasn't fucking Star Wars, but like it was dope.
The fight with her and the Emperor was Dragon Ball Z.
Yes,
random power-ups from both sides. I'm like, what is this? Now that I have two lightsabers, I can beat you. Like, hold on now.
Hey, I said that shit in the theater so loud. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I was like, oh man. She did a spirit bomb with the Force.
Oh,
she just gathered all the Jedis into one, and I'm like, come on, what is this? What is it, Goku over here? Oh man, yeah. Those parts are dumb. It's a lot of things about it is just dumb. But I can also understand if people was like, oh, it's just big dumb fun, because apparently Fast and Furious makes a shit ton of money, and those movies suck, but it's just they're like, oh, it's big dumb fun. I'm like, okay,
big dumb fun. And look, and there sometimes I'm into that. I am big dumb fun. Listen, hey, that's Bloodsport, okay? Big dumb fun. This makes no sense. This is ludicrous, but it's fun. All right. What's the Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse? All right. Dumb fun.
I seen that movie, but only thing I remember is there's a stuffed bear in there, isn't there? At some point, like towards the end, there's a stuffed bear or something.
Yes, and he gets shot. Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about that movie.
Yep.
That, and he kicks a lot of people.
He kicks a lot of people, and he rips a man's throat out too.
Yeah, like, I mean, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. We just like different things. Some things, look, our interests are going to cross at some point, and they're going to deviate at some point.
Yes.
I think that's everybody,
yes.
and there's nothing
if
wrong.
If you're
with
a normal person, you won't like everything other people like. All right.
Right. Yeah. Like everything you say. I forget. It's I forget what I was going to say, but basically, Dark Knight Rises sucks. That's how I was going to end. That's the route I was going. Everything you said, is contradictive and about the last Star Wars movie. That's how I feel about Dark Knight Rises. It's just a piece of shit, and I gave it many chances, and it's just terrible. But now that I think about it, you know what? No, yeah, it's still the worst Batman movie. I still rather watch Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman be Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze instead of Dark Knight Rises.
Boy, that is tough. Oh, holy shit.
See, that's big dumb fun. It's like, oh, okay.
It's not meant for you to take seriously.
Yeah, it's full on campy, and it's like, okay, I get you. So I can understand.
As long as a movie leans into that, it's fine by me. But if you're meant to be taken as a serious piece of art and you come off like that, then I'm going. That's what Star Wars did. Like, come on, man. Like, this is fucking nuts. What are we doing?
Right. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't want to say it's weird, but it kind of is weird to me that there's certain movie tropes that always seem stupid to me, but they're always in movies, and these movies always do well. It's like, I'm going to pull the old switcheroo. You didn't really kill Chewbacca. He was on another ship. It's like, well, yeah, clearly. Like, that was just dumb. But it's the old switcheroo. I mean, that's just whatever happens. Like,
now, I'll tell you one thing that they do that I never get tired of. It's not they either. It's Mission Impossible. The face mask, I never get tired of it. I love it. All right. Whenever he pulls off a fake face, he's got me every time. Whenever they pull off a fake face in Mission Impossible, I fist pump. Yes, he did it again. I'm super into it. How's he gonna do it this time?
I heard the movies are good. I just won't be watching them.
Mission Impossible movies are big, dumb fun. Yes, they are fucking entertaining as fuck. I love them all.
I'm good. Listen.
You should watch it. You're not into Tom Cruise either, though. So
yeah, I'm not into Tom Cruise, and I don't think no matter who it was, you can't be that old and be the best in the world still. Like in these movies. I forget the character he plays, but it's like, come on now. Like, I think he beat up a whole prison yard. Like, he beat up everybody in the prison.
You can when you're Tom Cruise, damn it.
And I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, there's nothing better than an old dude going through a midlife crisis that wants to be an star. That's Tom Cruise turned that shit on early too, man.
And look, I get it.
Your guy from Taken, same thing. It's like, come on, you're 70 years old. Knock it off.
Taken 1 was all right. Like, he shouldn't have any gas left after that.
Taken 1 was all right. And yes, at the end of that movie, you should have died. Like,
he's like, wait, I'm going to do this 2 more times?
Do it again. And he did it 2 more times after that. It's like, come on.
Yeah. And like, come on now. And look, I get it. They tried that with Bourne, whatever. They try to get in a younger guy. I don't even know how much younger Jeremy Renner is.
I don't think Renner's that much younger than Damon.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. So they had to bring back old ass Damon. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it.
That last one didn't work. It was a miss. Yeah. And I was pretty disappointed because I was like, when Damon came back to the series, I was like, oh my God, yes. And it was
too late by then.
Yeah.
And I get it. Look, when you replace that iconic character with a younger one, the only way it works is with. So I don't even know if James Bond is written like that, where all the stuff in all the other movies happen. It's just that, hey, these are just the names that we assign to these people, whether it's Q, 007, or whatever. All this, I don't know if it's always been a thing, and they pretend that. Yeah, Sean Connery, when he was 007, that is in the current timeline. It's just, that was like 40, 50 years ago. I don't know if that's the thing, but that's like really the only way you can successfully do it is you set something like that up where it's this is a younger or whatever person, but it's because this person is just now holding the title, and there's a large gap between when they switch them out. But most of the time, it just doesn't work. Even with Star Wars, when they got a young Han Solo and that didn't work out, and now they do deep fake for everybody. It's like, come on now, you can cast a young Luke Skywalker, like, come on now. But it's whatever. Listen, man.
That Skywalker one, I did not think was as bad as everybody else thought it did.
So it just doesn't make sense. Like, so like you're not gonna have him show up. The only time you're gonna have him show up, he can't do much. So the first time he showed up was in Mandalorian season 2.
Yes.
He came and rescued Baby Yoda or Grogu. And the face is like, okay, it clearly that's Mark Hamill's face on someone else's body. And then in the Book of Boba, it looked better, but also if you pay attention to the scenes, when he talks a lot, you don't see his face. It's either like shot from the back or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like you shouldn't have to do that. Just cast a younger. Look, Sebastian Stan can be a young Luke Skywalker, the guy who plays.
That was kind of uncanny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like but it's like you already set in. No, we're going to drag out Mark Hamill, and we're going to do his whole face, and then we're going to change up the voice and everything. And we're going to put it on some guy. It's like, come on, it's not that serious. Like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't put Mark Hamill's face on 10-year-old Luke Skywalker in the Obi-Wan show. I'm surprised they didn't just do that. Just keep the whole trend going. But hey, it's making millions and billions, so what do I know? But hey, man, I think it's a good stopping point. I really hope episode 10 wows you. I hope, hey, I know you said the whole dragon coming out the ground thing and she's not killing people suck. I hope it redeems itself enough and it holds you over into the next season. But I'll just stick to the memes and whatever you got to say.
Hey, just watch my Facebook page. I'll tell you the whole thing.
Yeah, listen, I got all kinds of pictures and memes and stuff. I don't know what's going on, but it still makes me laugh.
It works. All right. Did you see what I tagged you on something on Twitter today? Did you see what I tagged you?
I've not gotten to it today. I've been doing a lot of housework.
Not a Naruto reference that I don't get, and I tag you in it because it's like see.
Yeah, man. Listen, I started watching Naruto again, and it's still good.
I hate that I commit to One Piece because I'm watching the Naruto memes. I'm like, man, I'm kind of interested. It seems more up my style. It seems like this is like more my speed.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to say it starts off slow, but it definitely gets better towards the end.
The arcs in One Piece take forever. Jesus.
Oh man, if you think they take long now, dude, the current arc that they on, I'm not even watching the show. I'm waiting for it to end so I can just binge watch the arc. This arc's been going on for like a year and a half now. And it's like, come on, just end it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the anime I don't know if they just needed breaks writing the manga and anime just kept catching up. But the last 4 or 5 arcs in One Piece have taken years, like literally years to get through per arc. And it's ridiculous at this point. Like one arc took 2 years to do in real time. But it only took over it. The time lapse in the show was a period of like 8 hours. They took 2 years to show 8 hours of content. I'm like, listen, man.
That's tough.
I can't. And I'm not going to wait every week for 5 minutes in the show to go by. Like, no, I'm not going to keep doing that. I'll wait till it's all done. and then I'll binge watch it and skip through the BS because it's gotten ridiculous at this point. But it's still good. It's just I'm not waiting on that.
Dragon Ball Z days because we had no choice. I'm not doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. This is what I decided. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the thing you sent me. No matter how hard life is, you must not give up. Drive forward with your hard work. I don't get it.
What's that?
Oh yeah. I'm looking at the thing you sent me.
Now?
Yeah, that bastard. He straight up cheated. Yeah, man. Like, man, he was in a tournament and he wasn't good enough, so he just straight up cheated in front of everybody.
Well, you know, what I've learned in my semi-long life, sometimes you just gotta cheat.
And yeah,
hope not to get caught.
Yeah, I mean that's just life. At a certain point, that's just life. Because it may be cheating, but it's only
once
cheating
you
because
learn that everybody's cheating, it's like, oh well, fuck it.
Right. Or the game you're playing is just rigged. So
or that game. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
What the hell am I looking at? Oh man.
When I was in actually, I'm gonna keep this one to myself. I was about to reveal a secret.
Oh boy. I'm gonna
keep it in my back pocket. I'll tell you private one day.
Oh geez. Well, on that note, because I actually do have some stuff I got to get to.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, we'll be back for some more stuff. I guess we could do one more on the on this discussion show you decide to watch. But yeah, man.
We can do one more on episode 10. And yeah, do you I mean, you sure you want to get a quick one in about the Broncos? You don't want to do like that little 20-minute one?
I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down. So, you know, I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm trying to be healthy. So that kind of talk is unnecessary. And it's just not good for my mental, physical, spiritual, or any kind of health whatsoever.
I get it.
Yeah. So no, I'm good. And I appreciate you bringing it up. Like, you know, you can go eat a cold hot dog, you know, whatever.
Eat a cold hot dog.
Yeah, that's what you can do. That's what you can do on this lovely day, on this lovely morning.
Either Russell Dangerwich sandwich. That's what I think I would do.
All right, where's that button to stop recording? Where is it? There it is.